Welcome back, friend. One of the reasons that we are in more danger today than we were, say, during the Great Depression or when during the time framework of the Great Depression, we had that 7-year drought out west. 7 years of drought, all right? If you've ever seen any TV special on it or read about it, it was unbelievable what happened. The difference between now and then is that we were basically a Christian culture at that point. People were not looting. People were not killing their neighbor to get their television sets or their water supply, whatever. I mean, the nation held together because it had Christian underpinnings, honor, duty, love of God, love of neighbor. That doesn't exist today, okay? It simply is gone in our large cities. Some of our small communities still have it. But you have to understand that if there was a crisis in the water supply, a city pool, for example, could become a gun zone. Because if people are thirsty, they're going to go to the YMCA or they're going to go to the pools to get drinking water, all right, just to survive. And if it's not in the hands of the right people, there will be violence, there will be bloodshed in pursuit of water. And my wife and I have been talking about this, trying to figure out a way to say it. And I don't know the way to say it, but I'm going to say it. Please at least consider, if it's possible, I know for some of you it's not possible, but if it's possible, you may want to consider, if you live in a major city, just relocating a little bit outside the city. All right? If you're absolutely anchored to a job there, I've got a good friend who works in the DC area, lived in Northern Virginia, and just recently bought a house an hour away. So he has to commute now an hour, but he lives in the middle of nowhere, and he's loving it. And if there's a meltdown in DC and in Northern Virginia, hey, he and his family are safe, okay? And that's why he did it. Plain and simple. All right, let's go to the big Berkey, the Royal Berkey. This is a carbon filter. Now, this unit is probably between $200 and $300. But the truth of the matter is, you could pour pond scum in this, pond water, literally pour pond water, get water out of a creek or a river. Put an old t-shirt on top of it, all right, to get rid of any debris. Pour it through the t-shirt, and then it'll soak through these carbon filters, charcoal filters for all intents and purposes. And what you pour out of the spigot then is totally healthy drinking water. And guess what you don't do? Die of dehydration. Guess what you get to do? Live. This other thing you see, the water bob, it's a lot less money than, that's probably 25 bucks for the water bob. If you know that there is a crisis coming, if there's about to be a water cutoff, you can fill your bathtub, all right? You could certainly live for quite a few days off the water in your bathtub. You could be putting a 55-gallon drum at your water spout if you have your own home, all right? If you live in an apartment building, you don't have a water spout, more than likely. And well, that's another show, the bug out bag. I need to take a break again. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about bread, which includes water. But your bug out bag might be your best friend one day. If something goes terribly wrong, many people simply have to have the will and the foresight to get in the car and go now and not look back, like Lot and his wife and his 2 daughters. And unfortunately, Lot's wife looked back. I'll be right back. Don't go away.